The latest coming in from Assam is that the number of refugees has now risen to 3 lakhs. At least 3 lakh refugees are staying at 203 relief camps. MHA sources say that the MHA has issued orders of shoot to kill if required, and that if any more instances of violence are reported, then the leaders of the groups will be named first on the FIR. Wasbir is now joining us over the phone line. Wasbir, MHA taking stern action against rioters, issuing orders of shoot to kill if violence is reported.
That is right. The MSA has now come up with strong measures and sent out a very, very clear directive to officers on the ground to actually act tough. In fact, one of the actions which the MHA team that is in the area for the last 4 days at a stretch is that they have asked the police officials and other security officials on the ground to actually name people, leaders of groups engaged in violence in the FIRs. That they're saying that any further incident, the leaders of this group should be named first, irrespective of their position or status. That is a clear message that has gone down to officers on the ground. Now, that is also again a clear indication that there were clear cases of security lapses in the initial 3 to 4 days of the rioting, and that has been expressed in so many, not in so many words, by the Chief Minister himself when he admitted that there were lapses in the first few days. But even while he said that the things are now limping back to normal, but that is not the case. The fact that a subdivisional police official has offered to resign, saying that he was helpless and he watched people being killed. So that is a clear indication of the situation on the ground. But as of now, this is a humanitarian crisis of gigantic proportions. There is no clear relief plan that we have seen. The refugees have been alleging of lack of food, medicines and water. We have been made to understand by the state authorities that several truckloads of medicines have left the drug stores in Guwahati to the affected areas. But the question remains, the distribution. If there is no medical team on the ground, simply truckloads of medicines arriving in the affected areas is not going to help. And we have yet to see a very clear strategy of relief from the authorities, whether it is relief by way of providing food and water or whether it is a health medical team reaching the grounds. So that kind of an urgency we have not really seen. And I have my doubts whether the state has that much medical teams to deal with the situation of these gigantic proportions. And we have also not heard of the Assam requesting the neighboring states to rush medical help. So these are the two things which we have not seen as yet. And there is a feeling that the demand that the central government must intervene in so far as relief and medical aid to the affected people is concerned. After all, it is not a matter of joke that 3 lakh people are now in more than 200 refugee camps. And the government is saying now that the refugees will start returning to their villages within a week. But I can tell you this is easier said than done, because hundreds and hundreds of homes have been set ablaze and others have either been evacuated by the authorities for fear of their lives or they have left their places on their own. So unless a sense of security is instilled among the people belonging to both groups, it is extremely unlikely that they are going to return to their homes within a week. And this itself is going to be a gigantic proportion, because first an assessment will have to be made. Only then can these people be sent back home. And that is the situation ground as of now. People crying for food, medicines and water, and of course security.
All right, thanks Wasbir for joining us with those details. We also have Shambit joining us from Dhubri now. Shambit, what is the situation in Dhubri currently? What's the scene at the relief camps right now?
We have visited several relief camps across Dhubri and we have seen how people are staying there without any food, proper medical aid, and the people are dying. In fact, we had seen how a 2.5-year-old baby had died in that relief camp. So the government is not really equipped at this moment here in Dhubri, at least, though the influx of the refugees from different parts of Kokrajhar are increasing at this moment here in Dhubri. So the government will have to wake up. We have heard that the medical teams are reaching in some parts of some relief camps, but they're not equipped to deal with all the relief camps out here in 3 affected districts. So that this is a very concerning issue at this moment for the government. The government will have to wake up, though the things are coming into normalcy very slowly at this moment. Curfew has been lifted at this moment in Dhubri as well as in Chirang district. The curfew has been lifted till 10 o'clock in the evening here in Dhubri and 5 o'clock in Chirang.